I am a full-time yoga teacher. My passion is to help people move better and to feel better in their bodies through movement. I think that movement is such a powerful tool for transformation, not just physically, but also mentally and emotionally. And when we move better, we stand a little bit taller, we're also more confident in general. So to be able to help other people on that journey to understand what they need for themselves, and also just to honor what their body needs, not necessarily meaning to push all the time, but maybe sometimes it's just taking a step back and doing something more restorative, something more stretching. I think that's a very powerful thing, and I feel really honored to be able to be a part of other people's journey for that. Personally, I think a lot of times people think that beauty comes from the outside and how you look, but I think it's actually a combination of inside and out. It's feeling comfortable in your own skin and also feeling confident so that you can put your best self forward. So I think sometimes people, they might do a lot of things externally and they hope that that makes them feel beautiful, but if you don't feel confident about yourself within, then it really, there's a mismatch. I think what makes me unique is just really allowing myself to be myself authentically and truly. Growing up, I've always had this idea that I need to be a certain way, I need to be this type of yoga teacher, I need to say all the right things. But I think what makes me unique is my personality. I don't take myself very seriously, I don't know if you can tell. And also my unique perspective on things, not just in life, but also in how I teach classes, and so that I allow my students also that space to be themselves. As yoga teachers, it's more difficult actually to take care of ourselves because we spend so much time and energy helping other people. Sometimes we don't know how to stop and take that moment to recharge ourselves. It's funny, right? It's ironic. But I think for me, it's really just allowing myself the time to disconnect. To me, self-care looks like staying at home with my cat, maybe spending some time just watching TV at home and not really having the pressure of I need to do a lot of things. And also, I find it really hard sometimes to motivate myself to go out and do things. So maybe I'll go on a walk along the harbor front with my friend, or I'll go to a gym with a friend so that I manage to get that time for myself, but also I get to spend quality time with the people who are important to me. So one role model I have for inner strength and resilience is actually my mom. Just to give you a little bit of a backstory, a really short version of my life, my mom pretty much raised me. Not to say that my dad wasn't a part of it, but my mom was the one who basically was paying for everything in schooling and stuff, and I just saw how hard she worked. And I think looking at her and seeing how she's pushed through everything despite all the challenges has really inspired me to be a more independent woman, and also just to see that life is, it doesn't need to be very complicated. I think as long as you have that confidence in yourself and you're willing to work hard, then things can happen. I think in terms of my career, I actually quit my full-time marketing job 10 years ago now to become a full-time yoga teacher. So I think that was one of the biggest challenges I've overcome, because it's scary coming into a new career path, but I really enjoyed sharing the practice of yoga. So I decided to take the leap, and so far it's been the best decision I've ever made. And then in terms of something that I'm still struggling with, I still struggle with imposter syndrome and not feeling like I'm good enough, or I don't know enough to teach other people things. So I just have to keep reminding myself that, where I am in my journey right now is exactly where I'm meant to be. And there's always going to be people who are better than me, people who are less advanced than me, but where I am now, there's a purpose of me being here. I find my inner strength by reminding myself that I've been through tough times before and that I'm resilient, so that this whatever hardship it is at the moment, it's only temporary, and that things will always work out in the end. So it's just reminding myself that right now things might feel really hard, but that I am strong and I've done this before. So I hope to inspire other people to embrace their own uniqueness by being vulnerable myself first. I think that's important because in order to be true to other people and to give them that safe space to be true themselves, there needs to be vulnerability. And also by just being myself and not trying to fit into what I think a perfect teacher should be, that also allows people to relate to me more and also find me a little bit more personable, so that way they can also feel like they can be themselves. I think it's very related because when you feel good about yourself physically, you can move better, you can stand a little bit taller, you just have a little bit more confidence in yourself. And also when you feel good about yourself mentally, it all just relates back to each other. And so, like we said before, I think beauty it's holistic, right? It's not just external, it's not just internal. It's finding that balance between the both of them and then allowing yourself to shine once you feel confident and comfortable. I think that changes all the time, depending on where I am in life, but I would love to travel and teach again. I used to do a lot of that before COVID, but I would love to combine traveling to new places, exploring new countries, and also maybe teaching workshops and yoga retreats. And also, I think at this point in my yoga teaching journey, I would like to guide other yoga teachers, so maybe host teacher trainings and just sharing everything that I've learned through my last 10 years of teaching and just helping them with their journey. There's two that come to mind. I think the first one is to trust the process. Even though things might not happen exactly as you want them to, there might be challenges, maybe you want this one thing and it doesn't happen for you, but know that eventually it all leads you to where you need to be. And then the second advice I would give myself is to stop worrying about what other people think and just really do what makes me happy, because I think we spend so much time trying to make our parents happy, do the things that we think society needs us to do. And I think the most important thing is at the end of the day, you're accountable to yourself. And so if you spend your entire life trying to please other people and at the end of the day it's not what you want to do, then it's really a life wasted.